Hey eBay sellers, it's Suzanne A. Wells, and today is Sunday, May 29th, 2016, and this is video number 112. And I wanted to go over what a BOLO is because there is a lot of confusion out on the internet about what this means as far as your eBay items, and I wanted to clarify it based on my perspective. I've been doing this for 13 years now, since 2003, and this term came up a while back when sellers would help each other out by telling each other things that we could actually find that sell for a high price. So let me go over exactly what this means. So this term comes from law enforcement. Some people know it as an APB or all points bulletin, when law enforcement would issue a lookout for a suspect or a person of interest that were normally dangerous or missing persons. And the American law enforcement changed it to BOLO, which stands for be on lookout, and it's been a common term since the 1960s. So that's what it means. That's where it comes from. So what does this mean for eBay sellers? My definition, and this is before all this retail arbitrage came out, when people are telling each other what to go buy at stores that can sell for a high price. That's not what I'm talking about. For eBay purposes, a BOLO is a used or vintage item that can be purchased for a very low price and sold for a very high price. So these are things that you can find at thrift stores, garage sales, estate sales, and usually the organization or person selling them has no idea of their value and they have a very low price on them. So an eBay seller with this knowledge comes along and can purchase these items for less than $5 and resell them for sometimes hundreds. Also, BOLOs are easily recognizable. They stand out among the endless sea of thrift store items. So when you're looking down the aisle of plush and you see a purple hidden Mickey, you instantly know that's what you're looking for. Or if you're looking down the sweater aisle and you see a Coogie or Tundra sweater, you immediately know that's one thing you can pick up. So these are not things that are hidden necessarily in the piles of junk. I'm sure there are plenty of things out there in the piles of junk that you can resell for a high amount, but when people on my Facebook group start putting up things that are so hard to find, and maybe they're the only person that's ever found it, that is not a BOLO. These are things that other sellers can recognize easily, and you immediately know, and these are the things that you look for every single time you go in a thrift store. And there's some on this my personal BOLO list that I've never found, but I'm always looking for them. Okay, also other sellers are actually finding the item. So there are sold items on completeds. These are not these obscure items that maybe there's only one or two of in the world, like a special postcard or, the ashtray that belonged to Queen whoever of England. These are things that people are actually finding and they're selling. And so it is possible for you to find it. So when you're posting BOLOs on your groups, if there's none in completeds or none listed, that's not really a BOLO because other people aren't finding it. And that's the purpose of sharing this information, is so we can help other sellers recognize what these things are and we can all make more money. So just to reiterate, the item is not so rare that it's impossible to find. So let me show you some examples of what BOLOs are, and that's what this playlist is going to be about going forward. I will put these BOLOs on their own videos and give you more of them so that you'll understand what to look for. So these are Coogie, some pronounce it Coogie sweaters. These are the Bill Cosby sweaters that have all the crazy designs on them, and these do sell for hundreds of dollars. And this is something that's been out there a while that people are actually finding, and if you go on eBay you're going to see them. both for sale and completed. So this is a findable item that's easily recognizable. You can buy them at a thrift store for maybe less than $5, depending on where you are, and sell it for hundreds. Okay, another item is the hidden Mickey. And I do have a video on this. If you click the little eye that's showing up on your screen right now, you will be taken to that video. But these are out there, and you have to know what you're looking for. A lot of them are new with tags because these were purchased at Disney as souvenirs, and you can see that they go for hundreds of dollars, some over $1,000. You always want to ship international with these because a lot of them go to Japan, but these are highly collectible. But a lot of the Disney fanatics don't know they're worth anything, so they're cleaning out their kids' stuff, or at their garage sale, or they're just donating it, and they have no idea how much these go for. Some people find these for $0.25 at Goodwill, and they will sell for $400, $500, $600, $700. So another item is the Starbucks City mugs. Not all of them. Some of them are BOLOs. If you look at these, the cities Portugal and Qatar both sold for over $300. And then you've got Tokyo and I don't know how to say that, Sharjah, and others that go for this much. So when you are scanning the mugs, you want to look for these Starbucks City mugs. If you see one, stop and look it up. Is it one that's valuable? Most of them are sellable for some kind of profit. Not all of them are going to be sellable for this much. That's where you've got to stop and do your research. But again, these are easily identifiable. They have the font is the same with the city name on each one of them, and they stand out among all the other mugs. So you can spot them quickly and then look them up. And a lot of times mugs are 10 cents, 25 cents, and these can be flipped for hundreds of dollars. Okay, here's another one, Vineyard Vines ties. These don't go for quite as much, but they are very easy to recognize among all the other ties because they have these tiny little patterns that are usually have to do with the ocean, the beach, anything up there in Martha's Vineyard, lobsters, turtles, all your sea animals, that kind of stuff. So these are pretty easy to spot, and they have the pink, usually the pink tag on the back, sometimes the blue, but easy to spot. And ties are usually pretty cheap, and these will sell for up to $100 in used condition because they discontinue the patterns a lot. So I have sold them for $80, and I have found them. So not just once, but this is something you might find a few times a year if you know to look for it. So those are definitely a BOLO. These are called Stubs and Wooten shoes, and they are velvety shoes. I believe they're made in the United Kingdom, and they have these embroidered designs on them, and they are they retail for $300 to $500 new. So when you see these, they're pretty recognizable in the shoe section. They've got the embroidered designs there on the top of the foot, and not a whole lot of other shoes look like this. So they're easy to spot among all the other shoes. If you look at shoes, you'll know they're like sometimes separated by color. So you've got racks and racks of just black leather shoes. It's hard to find something in there. You have to stop and look at every single one. But these really stand out. So here's some completeds. These were in used condition. These are also a good estate sale item, and I will be doing videos on all of these items coming up, plus more, so that you can start building your BOLO list and learning what these items are, because I guarantee I've left things behind because I didn't know. So educating yourself on this is the way to make more money. So if you are on my channel, you can go to the playlist section there, and that's where you can listen to these videos or watch these videos based on topic. So if you want to learn all about shoes one day, you can just play the whole playlist. But that's what's going to happen with the BOLO list. I'm going to create a playlist there so that you can learn more about these. But before you go posting these things on Facebook, I know it's exciting when you find something that sells for a lot of money, but just because you found it doesn't mean that every other seller is going to find it, or that it's even findable. So think about this criteria a little bit more, just so that you understand what the definition of a BOLO is. So I hope that helps, and love your comments. So have a great day on eBay.